Bill, what is your suggestion?
So my suggestion is we should not be in the federal lunch program. I've heard from several parents that are against the federal lunch program just because of the nutritional standards, the quality of product that the feds push on you. This all stems from the waste, that's a big one, but this all stems from they're getting less ability to choose what they want. So your student likes grapes, let's say, kindergarten, right?
I think we're all in agreement with that. The bigger question is, do we pay for free or reduced lunches ourselves?
I think we pay for some portion of something. I think you have to talk about what that's going to be. Do I believe it's the responsibility of everybody to pay for every other person's student to have lunch? I don't believe that personally. Does the school district as a whole, the board will vote on that. But I don't think it's my right to ask Bob to pay for my kids to eat. It's not my right to ask you to pay for my health care. I come from a libertarian standpoint, and it's not my right to ask somebody else to pay for it. Now, that being said, the federal government is just printing money to pay for students for lunch. However, what they're doing is imposing their will on what you give the kids to eat, which is what I completely disagree with. My student does like grapes, and they're going to take some red blood red orange and throw it away because they couldn't have the grapes. It doesn't make any sense to throw away food.
I think we all feel the same way.
I don't know that.
The question is, are we going to have a free and reduced lunch program? Is our school district going to buck up $37,000 to pay for that?
That's the question. I would say a portion of that, yes. Total amount, not necessary. So I'm saying from a standpoint of whether you're in or out of the lunch program, to me, doesn't make a difference if the quality of the lunch program is being hindered by the federal government. The question of whether you're in or out of the lunch program from the federal standpoint is a different question of how you fund or what you want to pay for some other person's student to have lunch.
Unfortunately, it ties in directly, since if you're in the federal program, then there's a cost that are paid for. And if you're out of that program, then it's not paid for. And then who pays for it, or do we?
I'm going to have difficulty voting on this at the board meeting until we've decided on this $37,000, how we're going to defray that expense.
Yeah. If you go forward with the bid and say we're not going to be in the federal lunch program, now let's talk about reducing so we can save money and therefore pay for free reduced based on the current standards. I'm sure they could come back with no problem with that. Took a free lunch through elementary school. My parents were poor, single mom, and it was not the same lunch. You wait in line with a lunch ticket. Everybody knew you were waiting in line for the free lunch ticket. Didn't bother them together. Well, to some students, I'm sure maybe it would. But that's the cost difference of having somebody else pay for your free lunch. I don't think you should get the right to say, not only should somebody else pay for my lunch, I should get to tell them what's not my lunch, which is what the federal government has now locked us into, because they're saying that the 80% of students in Waterford School District that don't take free lunch or reduced lunch are now mandated to do something to make everybody else in the 20% feel as though they're having free and reduced lunch as identical. And that's what the federal government is doing.
I would suggest that we exit out of the federal program, that we go to bids and try to see if we can reduce our costs by the bidding process, and that we should set some type of a dollar limit maximum that our school districts should spend on free and reduced lunches. I hate to see any dollars come out of education going to lunches, but I don't see a way around this. We either have to pony up some money or stay in the federal program.